of a sentence like a kingdom. Did is the king of the action. So if you put them in the same sentence, they start fighting. Confused because you are trying to use two different past tenses tools for one simple thought. Right? So it's like trying to wear two pair of glasses at the same time. It just makes everything blurry and gives you a headache. Say was, the past is already there. So you don't need did. Today, I'm going to teach you an English speaking trick that will absolutely blow your mind. Even if you have never studied English a day in your life, after watching this, you will be able to frame your own sentences perfectly. So let's dive in and discover the secret tricks that will have you speaking English starting right now. Hey, I'm Shalima, your English coach. Welcome back to my new series of English speaking practice. So in today's class, the very first thing we are going to master is the differences between did and was, were. My goal is to make sure that by the end of this lesson, you can use these words in your daily English conversations with zero confusion. Because most people get confused between did and was, were. They guess, they struggle. But after this video, you will never guess again. So are you guys ready to flip the switch? Let's go. Now, before we jump into the magic trick, let's look at why English is actually much simpler than you think. It all comes down to two different words. Yes, words, dunya. Yes, the two different words. That is action versus description. In English, there are only two words in the past. Okay? So, word number one, the action word. This is for you. You do. If your body moves or your brain works, it's an action. Like eat, sleep, work, call, or go. For this word, the king is did. And word number two is the description word. This is for things you are or feel. No movement here. It's just about your state, like happy, busy, tired. For this word, the kings are, was, and were. So the first step is to identify the word. Once you know if it's an action or description, the rest is easy. Let's start with the king of actions, did. The did is a thief. Whenever you want to ask about an action, start with did. But remember, my favorite rule, did is a thief. It steals the past form of the verb. For instance, I can show you the structure. So the structure is on my screen, that is did plus person plus simple action. So let's look at some examples that you can use right now. Example number one, did you see? It means you might want to say, did you saw? But remember, did already stole the past tense. So saw becomes see. Alright? Example number two, did you tell him? Now you don't need to worry about told. Since did is there, the action stays. Simple, tell. Alright? Example number three, did you go to work? Example number four, did you call me? Example number five, did you understand? So guys, do you see how easy this is? You don't need to memorize thousands of past tense verbs like went, saw, or told. As long as you use did, the action stays, it's an original, simple form. So it's like a shortcut to speaking perfect English. Why is this so important? Because in English, we only show the past once in a sentence. Again, I'm telling you, did is a thief. Did ek chor hai. That steal the past form. That is ed form. If I say I worked, the action carries the past. But if I ask a question, did carries the past. If you say, Did you worked? It's like wearing two hats at the same time. It looks crowded and wrong. So use did, keep the action simple, and you are 100% correct. Now, I have shown you the paths, but let's see if you can find the way on your own. It's time for a 3-second challenge. So guys, it's time for a 3-second challenge. Question number 1 is the coffee station. Imagine you want to ask your friend if they drank coffee this morning. The word is drink. Now ask yourself, is drink an action or a description? 3, 2, 1. Yes, guys. So if you said, did you drink coffee? You are 100% correct. Why? Because drink is an action. You use the king of actions, did. So that was the word of actions. But what happened when there is no movement? But what if you want to talk about a feeling, a place, or a job? That's when we switch to our second path. Path B, the description kings. Yes, so now let's step into the world of descriptions. Here we are not talking about doing things like running or eating. We are talking about its states of being, who you were, how you felt, or where you were located. So on my screen, the pattern is on my screen was, were plus person plus description. So let's practice with these everyday examples. All right. So the example number 1 is, were you busy? Guys, busy isn't an action you do. It's a state you are in. So we use were. Okay. Example number 2, was he angry? So this is a feeling. So since we are talking about he, one person, the king is was. All right. Now example number 3 is, were you at the office? This is a location and we are asking where you were, not what you did there. All right. Now example number 4, was the food delicious? Example number 5, were they late? Notice something? In every single one of these sentences, there is a zero movement. No one is running, no one is calling, no one is working. We are just painting a picture of a situation. So there is a secret of the description kings, right? Here the was and were is not thief. A lot of students ask me, is there a thief here too? So the answer is no. In the action word, did stole the past tense. But the description word was and were are the past tense themselves. Say they don't need to steal anything because they are not working with the verbs. They are just linking the person to a description. Guys, think of it like this. If there is a verb like action, use the thief did. If there is no verb like description, use the kings like was and were. Right? So it sounds so simple when you hear it like that, doesn't it? But to really make sure you never forget this. So let's put them side by side for a final showdown, guys. All right? So it's time for the ultimate showdown. I'm going to give you the same topics, but we are going to look at it through two different lenses, action and description. This is where you will see the logic finally and click in your brain, right? So the topic number 1 is work, the action path. Did you work yesterday? So here I'm asking about the activity. Did you physically do the job? Now, were you busy yesterday? Here I'm asking about your state. Were you in a state of having a lot of to do? See, same day, same topic, but two completely different paths. So let's try another one that people miss all the time, right? So here is our topic two, the party. Okay. So, did you go to the party? Here, I'm asking about movement. Did you travel from your house to the party? And the second one is that is called description. Were you at the party? So here I'm asking about your location. I just want to know if your body was present in that room. So one more, and this one is the most common mistakes for beginners. That is topic number 3. I can say lunch. All right. So did you eat lunch? So here I'm asking about the action of eating. And the second one is description path. Were you hungry? So here I'm asking about your feeling. Guys, look closely at the screen. Whenever I used did, there was a verb. Work, go, eat. Whenever I used were, there was a feeling or a place. Like busy, at, hungry. Right? This is the secret to sounding like a native speakers. So you aren't just memorizing sentences, you are choosing the right path based on what you want to say. So if you want to talk about doing, pick, did. All right? If you want to talk about being, pick, was, or were. All right. So here we have covered the logic. We have met the kings and the thief. But now it's time for a reality check, guys. I'm going to give you 2 real life situations. So let's see if you can pick the right path in under 3 seconds. So are you guys ready? Let's do the challenge. Question number 1. This is a mood situation. Now imagine you see your friend looking very happy. You want to ask them about it. The word is happy. Is happy an action or a description? 3, 2, 1. What's your answer, guys? The answer is, were you happy? Why? Because you can't do happy. It's a feeling. You must use the description, that is king, were. Okay? So if you got both of those right, give yourself a pat on your back. You were officially thinking like a native English speakers. But if you got one wrong, don't worry. That's why we practice. Now let's wrap this up with your final homework challenge, guys. Here is the battle of two kings, right? Now listen it very carefully because this is the mistake that breaks your English. I call it the grammar crime. Some students try to be extra safe and use both words. They say things like, did you was happy or did you were at school? So did plus was, this is the wrong, right? This is the wrong one. Why is this so wrong? Let me tell you. Think of a sentence like a kingdom. A kingdom can only have one king. Did is the king of the action word. Was is the king of description word. So if you put them in the same sentence, they start fighting. Your listeners will get confused because you are trying to use two different past tenses tools for one simple thought. Right? So it's like trying to wear two pair of glasses at the same time. So does it helps you see better? No, it just makes everything blurry and gives you a headache. Isn't it? Yes. In English, we only show the past one time. If you say did, the past is already there. You don't need was. If you say was, the past is already there. So you don't need did. All right? Did you was tired? That is wrong. Tired is a feeling. Use the description king. Were you tired? This one is correct. Were you tired? Did you went? So this is wrong. You have two past, right? Did plus went? So use the thief. Did you go? All right, this one is correct. Did you go? This is correct. So guys, stop trying to double check your grammar by adding more words. One king, one path. If you remember this, you are already speaking better English than 90% of learners. Now you have done the hard work and it's time for a quick test to see if you have mastered the logic, right? So you just take a look at what you have achieved in the last few minutes. You didn't just study grammar today. You mastered a logic that confuses people for years. So if you feel like a bulb just went off in your head, that is the feeling of becoming fluent. You see, English isn't a mountain you have to climb. It's just a series of small switches like the one we flipped today. Right? Now, I want you to see you put this power into action. And I'm giving you a challenge word that is ready. Think carefully. Is ready an action, something you do, or a description, something you are? Go to the comment right now and write your question. Is it did you ready or were you ready? Right? I'm not going to correct you here. You need to type in the comment. And I'm going to personally read and reply to your comments because I want you to make sure that you have logged this logic in your brain. Right? So guys, this is the only day one. So if you can learn this much in one lesson, imagine where you will be on day 30. My promise to you is this: if you follow this series step by step without skipping the day, it's not far when you will speak English without any fear, any doubt, any hesitation, right? So guys, if this lesson gave you confidence today, hit the like button. It tells me that my hard work is helping you. And make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell icon because day 2 is going to be even more powerful. We are going to tackle another English secret that will make your sentence flow like water. So you have taken the first step today and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you guys. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and I will see you tomorrow for day 2, right? So before going, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So this is Shalima signing off. Take care and speak English with confidence. All the best.